Hey guys, Divine Ramza here. Doing a quick video here for some friends. Just wanted to let you know that I'm still working on the review for the PS4 game Yonder. I haven't forgotten about it. I just haven't had enough time to be playing it. I'm also working on another review for a 3DS game. But right now what I'm going to do quick here is show everybody how to check the versions of the firmware for the 3DS and the Vita in case you want to hack the systems, and just explain a tiny bit about which versions you want or which versions you don't want. So here we got the 3DS, so we're gonna power it on maybe. Okay. Now, from what I understand for 3DS, you don't want it, of course, on the absolutely brand new version, because I think that there's been some bans going around on Nintendo's part. But let's see here. So what you want to do, go up here, and this here for the 3DS is for my friend Casey, because he wanted to get a 2DS. I mean, this is going to be the same on the 2DS, the 3DS, 3DS XL, new 3DS, etc. And my friend Casey wanted to get a 2DS to hack, but of course he bought one on the newest firmware version at the time. So once you're here, all you have to do is just look here. Now, mine says 11.4. I believe the newest version is 11.5, so I mean, you definitely don't want to be on that, but you want to be at 11.3 or below. Now, I'm at 11.4 because I had hacked it earlier when it was on 11.3, and in order to play a couple of games, Ever Oasis, I believe you had to be on 11.4, but since mine was already hacked, I could update it, and then I have to, I was using the ARM 9 loader hacks, and I still have to update it to the bootstrap hack, but it still works, so it still loads everything. So ideally, you want to be at 11.3 and below, and you just go to 3ds.guide, Guide, and it'll have all the info there. You just have to follow everything step by step, and it'll work good. Pretty fast. The original way, the ARM 9 loader hacks, it took about 25 minutes or so to do, and it still worked. The current version, I've been told, takes a lot less time, but if you are on 11.4, you can still hack it. The only problem is you have to have a friend with a lower firmware version, or if you yourself have one, whichever, but it's kind of a pain in the butt to do because you have to transfer files between systems. So technically, if you are on 11.4, you can hack it, but it's best to stay on 11.3 and below. So there's that for the 3DS, and then, once you've done this, you can do all types of stuff here. Oh, come on back up, please. So I got what I got here. Nintendo games here. Yeah, I got all this stuff. Genesis games, we got Game Gear if you want to play anything like that. Because the 3DS supports NES, SNES, Game Boy, Game Gear, because you can download all games of that type from the eShop. Now, if you have Genesis, which I have quite a few, it doesn't natively support it, but you have to, but you can have a program on your computer to transfer the ROMs to a form so that it can still play it. Now, I do not have the new 3DS or the new 3DS XL, which means natively I cannot play Super NES games, only on the new 3DS and new 3DS XL, because they natively support SNES games from the eShop. So right now the only way to do it is if you do an emulator on here. So you know, this here's the best one. Just start it up and see what we have here. It's initializing. So yeah, let's just start a game here real quick. A is select, and then you can do stuff. You can bring up stuff. But yeah, and here we have an SNES game. So yeah, and that's the thing too about the 3DS though. Depending if you have tons of ROMs like what I do, you might just want to use emulators instead of installing the game itself, like on here, because here's the weird thing. I don't know if it's been changed with the new 3DS and new 3DS XL, and now of course the new 2DS XL, but you can only have like 260 or so things installed on your 3DS. And of course, I have hundreds of ROMs. And I mean, granted, I still own thousands of games though too, but it's still a lot easier though if I want to play things on the go. But so I did run into the problem where I already had stuff installed on here when I first hacked it. So I'm just installing all the ROMs, converting them, putting them on the 3DS, installing them and all that, and all of a sudden stuff began to disappear on the screen, and then I went into that system thing where you can uninstall stuff and they weren't there anymore. So I was like, what the heck? So it only... Here's the weird thing about it. You can have more than 250 or so things installed, but it'll only show that 250, 260, whatever. So while technically they're still installed on your SD card, they're still taking up space on your SD card. They do not show up. So what I did was like, hey, maybe there was a problem with one of the games. So I uninstalled a few games, and everything that had disappeared began to show up. So yes, it's still installed on your card. It isn't showing on the 3DS, but if you uninstall some stuff, it will reappear again and work perfectly fine. So that's what I had to do with the Super NES, because I have hundreds of ROMs for that. So I had to go the emulator route, and then for the Game Boy as well, I had to go the emulator route for that too, because I have so many. I didn't want to have them all installed, but yeah, so it's kind of a pain in the butt, but it's an easy workaround though. Anyway though, now let us move on to the Vita. The Vita, is a lot different, and it's, when it works good. It's fine, but for hacking it though, it can be a pain in the butt. The 3DS, it goes pretty fast. And I think they've streamlined it some just because there's so many people developing hacks for it that it goes fine. Now for the Vita, obviously, as you know, the Vita is dead, and there aren't as many hackers working on it. So let's see, I got a game already up. So it's Civilization Revolution 2, which I will do a review on. And I hate the game with a passion, but I'll tell you why I'm playing it though. Oops, let's cancel, let's save here real quick. Yes, I want to overwrite the save. Okay, so anyway, to find out the firmware version, you want to go to Settings, start it up. And you want to go all the way down to System. system information. Now, and here's where it gets to be a pain in the butt. If you want to fully hack it, so you can play pirated Vita games, which I don't endorse in any way, but if that's what you want to do and you want to have full capability to do whatever you want to be on 3.60, which my PS TV is on 3.60, and I have MAME on there, I have NES games, Genesis, all types of stuff, turbo graphics and all that. Now, if you're below 3.60, that's fine. There's a way to update it to just 3.60, but that's what you want to be on. You can't be on anything lower. Now, this is my original PS Vita Slim, which I got with the Borderlands 2 combo pack. And of course, I had already updated it to 3.63. The other week or so, about 3 weeks ago, I was at Adventureland, which is an amusement park, and I won a Vita PCH 2006, which is an Asian one, but that's fine though, because the Vita can be switched to English and play all that. It's at 3.61. Now, there still is stuff that you can do on it. The biggest thing is you can still emulate, but not through the Vita itself. You have to go through the PSP mode on the Vita, because the Vita can support PSP games. So basically, since the PSP was extremely easy to hack, you have everything you do is through the PSP on the Vita. So if you're at 3.65, which is the newest firmware, I believe, I haven't tried it yet, but I don't think you can do as much. But the biggest news, though, right now, as of this recording, is that if you're at 3.60 and you're spoofing the firmware so you can get online to play games online, update your trophies, download stuff from the shop, if you're spoofing it, right now you might want to take a little break from it, because they have been, Sony has been messing around with stuff, and you will lose your access to online. So if your system has been activated, you're on 3.60 and you're spoofing to 3.65 to go online, chill out for now. If it hasn't been activated or you're not going online, you can still install stuff offline. But every time you're online, though, regardless if you're going to the shop, playing online, or whatever, the PSP, the Vita will still send stuff to Sony. So just be careful. There's places online that shows you how to back up a couple of files, not because they're doing anything with it right now, but if they decide to, if you back up these files, then you will be safe. So that's why I haven't been online with my PS TV, because I need to back up those files. But anyway, you want to go to Reddit. That's the place for your Vita stuff, and follow the guides. It's a little more of a pain. You have to FTP stuff. Over here, you have to download a bubble, which this is for 3.61 and 3.63. As you see, it says Loco Roco Midnight Carnival. That's one of the demos to get, because you can hack it with a program on your computer to allow the emulation, which is called ARC2 here, for 3.61 and 3.63. And of course, there are other things you can do, but I really don't care, though. So and you'll see it's not as polished, because once you start it up, you're tricking the Vita into thinking it's a PSP game. But anyway, there's really no front end for it. It's just, it's, as we've said before, there's really not a whole lot of hackers developing for the Vita, so this really is what we get. Yeah, it kind of stinks, but what are you going to do, though? So, all depends if you want to run a PSP game, emulate, whatever. There are a lot more people that do a better idea, that do a better explanation of this, but no, I can go up here to, let's see, this emulate the Intellivision. So go into here, and there's the eBoot PvP, which if you ever hacked for the PSP, that's all familiar for you, because we're telling it to run a PSP emulator, not a native one, for the Vita. Hopefully this works. Yeah. Oh, was this supposed to run game? Possibly, I forget. Anyway, though, or maybe that didn't work on the Vita for some reason. Let's try again. And now, so you're emulating this through the PSP on the Vita, but because the Vita is more powerful, you still don't get extra speed on anything. It'll act just as if it was a PSP, so you won't gain any speed or anything like that. And looks like this doesn't. Well, what the hell's this doing? I don't know. But anyway, though, if you want to check your version for the Vita, and an error occurred, for the 3DS and the Vita, that's how you do it. You'll know what you need. Let's try this. Let's see. These controls are really stupid. So, X. Let's see. Is it in the game folder? Let's try here. And I think that's the. Let's see what this does. Okay, so we have press start to run. Let's see what happens. Anyway, I'll work on this and hopefully I can get it figured out, 'cause it's still confusing to me and it's a pain in the butt. But anyway, if you want to hack the 3DS and the Vita, there's how you go about checking the versions. And anyway, thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe, comment. I'll get back to you. And thanks again. I'll be putting out some more reviews here soon. Bye.